I've been playing Monster Hunter Wilds for just a few hours, and there's a few things I've learned that have really improved my experience. These aren't anything crazy that will turn you into a speedrunner, but they're more quality of life things that the game either doesn't tell you or does a very poor job of explaining. So without further ado, here's my list of 10 tips to make your life easier in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now my first tip has to do with picking items up with your slinger. I'm sure if you've played for a while, you've noticed that you can aim your slinger at items and pick them up, but did you know that you can also do this without looking directly at the item? On the left side of the screen, you'll notice everything listed that's in your reach, including environmental hazards you can use on the monsters. Now you can actually scroll through this list using your D-pad, and then you hit circle if you're on a PlayStation controller, and you'll just pick the item up automatically. Now my next tip is regarding the mantles. Now in Wilds, we always have access to our ghillie mantle, and we get to choose the other mantle at will. You can put these on either through the item wheel or your item bar, but did you know there's actually a built-in shortcut? Just hold L1 like you're changing your items, and then press R2 and you'll quickly equip your mantle. This actually even works with your weapon out. Now my third tip has to do with the Sacred and the auto move feature. You've probably noticed that your Sacred will automatically run towards a targeted monster if you press up on the D-pad, but you can actually auto travel to pretty much anything you can attach a waypoint to. This makes things like farming materials, small monster parts, quite a bit more convenient, especially with Wild's more vertical level design. Now my next two tips are going to be regarding skills. In Wilds, there is a skill called Latent Power, which gives you buffs upon meeting certain conditions. Gee, could you vague that up a bit for me? What this actually means is the skill activates after taking 130 damage, or after fighting a monster for 120 seconds. I believe it also activates if the hunt has been going for 5 minutes, but don't quote me on that one. The buff lasts about 120 seconds before having to be reapplied, but it is quite strong at higher levels and can be even buffed further with the Ray Douse set bonus. Getting high affinity in Monster Hunter Wilds is actually quite easy. Synergy between the Gormagala set and Antivirus net you about 25% affinity once you get everything online, which I won't go into detail here, but it doesn't take very long. And you can get another 30% affinity with the skill Maximum Might. All you need for this is to keep your stamina full for a few seconds to activate it, so it's not the best for every weapon, but it's surprisingly forgiving and easier to keep up than you might imagine. You also only need 3 stacks of this skill in order to max it out instead of 5. So it makes it a bit easier to build around. Tip 6 is about playing with your friends. Multiplayer in Monster Hunter has always been kind of weird, but it's actually easier in this game than it ever has been. To add someone as a friend, you'll need their Hunter ID, and then you'll be able to create a private lobby and share the lobby code to play together. Also, you'll want to make sure you're in a link party, so when you post quests, it just automatically sends invites and they're easier to join. If you want to explore the open world together, make sure you do Environment Link as well. One way to make this whole process slightly easier with a dedicated playgroup is by creating a squad. Your squad will have its own dedicated lobby that can hold up to 10 people, and everyone can just join from the main menu without having to send lobby codes back and forth. It's really nice. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please consider dropping a like and or subscribing to the channel. I do make all this content by myself, so any support's really appreciated. Anyway, back to the video. Next few tips are more useful in the late game, but they're still lifesavers. Not sure what to do with all those leftover monster parts you don't need anymore? You could actually turn them in for armor spheres in Azus. Once you get access to Ardian weapons, you can also trade monster items in for the materials you use to upgrade the Ardian weapons. This can be really useful for getting a few more points of defense or for grinding out those perfect rolls. Looking for a certain part on a monster? You can actually look in your large monster field guide, scroll over a few pages, and you'll see a list of materials. By scrolling down to the material you're looking for, you can see what percentage chance it has to drop for different triggers. This could be breaking certain parts, carving the tails, carving the monster itself, quest rewards, or even destroying wounds. This can make your grinding much more efficient. Also look through this guide to learn more about the monster, such as its elemental weaknesses, weak zones, and special attacks such as roars. Don't forget to save your investigations. Yes, you can just go directly to the monster on your map and hunt it without spending any guild points, but if you save it as an investigation, you can hunt it up to 3 times. This includes giving you any guaranteed quest rewards, such as gems, and really doesn't cost that many guild points in the long run. Now my last tip is regarding some of the new perfect dodge and perfect guard mechanics in the game. These mechanics actually work on certain special attacks like monster roars that you might think they wouldn't work on, even without things like, say, earplugs. The window is just quite a bit smaller than most other monster attacks, so I didn't realize this for quite a while. You can even take this a step further with the skill Guard Up on certain weapons, which allows you to block normally unblockable attacks. And that about does it for this video on quick tips to make your life easier in Monster Hunter Wilds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want me to make more videos like this, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Also, what tips would you give to fellow hunters, new and returning? Have a great day, and happy hunting!